Democrats have lost another special election, making them 0-4 in the Donald Trump era. This was in the 6th District of Georgia last night. This was the spot vacated by Tom Price after being appointed Secretary of HHS by Donald Trump. Jon Ossoff announced his candidacy for this special election back in January. He was endorsed by some pretty prominent figures: Congressman Hank Johnson, John Lewis, State House Democratic leader Stacey Abrams in Georgia, raised over $8 million. And this is widely considered the most expensive House race in the history of all House races. A sort of referendum on Trump in some way, right? This was a major uphill battle. Tom Price, the prior seat holder there, won with a 2-1 margin many, many times. That's when he was opposed, sometimes unopposed with nearly 100% of the vote. This is a major red Republican district, and indeed Ossoff lost. We have the election results from last night. Karen Handel with 51.9% of the vote, besting Jon Ossoff, who had 48.1% of the vote. Now, there are many on the left who are split about the results here, Pat. There are some who are saying, even with Trump in the 30s in popularity, we still can't get a win in this special election. Others saying, hey, you know what? This is a really red district, and the fact that he even got 48% of the vote is already a big deal. So what is the good news? The good news is this is as close as a Democrat has come to winning Georgia's 6th district in a very, very, very long time, and better than Hillary Clinton's vote share in the 6th district, which was 46.8% in November of 2016. What's the bad news? The bad news is, number one, even though money helps you win, this was a crazy amount of money for a House race, and Ossoff still lost, even with the president with a 30-something% approval rating, and this is sort of referendum on the president. But this really relates more to a broader issue I've been talking about, Pat, which is how are Democrats going to win in 2018? Ossoff was basically, between a progressive Democrat and a blue dog Democrat, not unusual in terms of what we're going to see in a lot of districts in 2018 and 2020. And he, opposes prison sentences for nonviolent drug offenses. He supports abortion rights and access to contraception. He doesn't want tax increases. He's called for reducing taxes on small business, but at the same time, he accepts the science of climate change. Sort of what you would expect to see running in many districts as a Democrat. Is this going to work in 2018 and 2020? Again, the good news is that this Democrat got a lot of the vote in a very, very red district compared to what other Democrats have gotten. I still believe that this needs to be an issues-driven midterm and ultimately 2020 for Democrats. There was not that much Trump rhetoric from either the winner nor the loser in Georgia's 6th district, but I think there's a lot to learn here.
Yeah, and I think that's why this race is really a microcosm in a sense, because if Democrats are going to win back the House in 2018, certainly that'll be a lot easier than the Senate. They'd not only have to hold their ground, but also pick up 40 to 50 seats currently held by Republicans.
That's right.
And it seems as if now Republicans can body slam reporters and still win their elections.
Well, so there's two sides to see it, right? One is you've got Republicans body slamming their reporters and still winning. You've got a very unpopular president and a special election that had record money raised by the Democrat still losing. The other side, though, is you almost lost a very red district. If you're a Republican and you see this and your takeaway is, hey, Ossoff lost, everything's fine. Good luck in 2018, because this was a red district, a district that's been red for decades that you did almost lose. And that's with Trump at 38% approval. If Trump's at 30% approval and you've got 435 of these districts up for grabs in 2018, you might not be so lucky. This red district, you won by 2 points. You could lose a number of red districts by 2 points as well.
And the whole reason that we're having these special elections to begin with is because these Republican congressmen are going to work in Trump's administration.
Right.
So, of course, he's picking Republicans. And, it gives this idea that the Democrats are 0-4, but that's going to be an uphill battle in every single one of those races.
That's why I'm not panicking the way some Democrats are panicking, which is these were long shots, right? These were really long shot special elections. And the reason why they were even vacant is part of the story as well.